let's start with a little bit of background. My partners and I have been in the web infrastructure, cybersecurity, and technology space for coming on 20 years now, and have worked together in a number of different companies. I think what's really sort of relevant here is that we've had to scale businesses from 0 to 1,000 people, 1 to 15 offices. We had literally 100 data centers around the world at our last company that was a company called Edgecast that powered about, 7 to 8% of the global internet. And one of the challenges that we ran into in all these environments was that the user experience was just piss poor when it came to access control. It was really, really frustrating. This was what we experienced. This is my partner Alex's sort of dog collar or badge leash or whatever phrase you want to give it. This is what frustrated us. We had 150,000 square feet of office space here in Southern California, and just in our campus alone, we had 5 buildings, and you had to have a badge to get into each one. We had 10 more offices around the U.S. and a badge for each of those. And heck, if you wanted to visit one of our data centers, you had to basically, bring 100 badges in a backpack and just wave it in front of a door to get in. It's just so frustrating. And so we thought, why is this? What is so bad about this experience? It's the administration of having to issue, print, manage, collect, distribute, revoke, all these different badges and credentials that's frustrating for folks. There's also the compounded user experience, which just stinks, where you as a user forget your keys, forget your badge, forget your PIN code. You're constantly having to remember this physical credential to carry with you. And that's kind of a burden as well. And then security is actually pretty poor. There's nothing personalized about this. So when you think about, the fact that you've got these plastic cards that anybody can just kind of find and use, you can clone one of these cards also on a device that you buy for $10 off of Amazon. I think it's just clearly a technology that is, ready for some disruption, ready for some change. So we looked at the marketplace and said, first of all, why isn't everything running off of your mobile phone? It's sort of one of the most disruptive trends out there is, mobile. Clearly, it's something that we bring with us and carry with us everywhere we go. Why aren't the companies who make access control systems using a mobile phone as a credential? Turns out they are. So you look around and you see some of the market leaders, companies like HID, they've had their CIOS platform out for 7 or 8 years. Brevo, which is one of the other access control systems that does cloud software, has a mobile credential. They've had it out for a similar amount of time. Kisi is an upstart out of New York. These guys have had mobile credentials out for years. If you look at the overall market penetration, however, of mobile, it's maybe 2 to 3% of the population of people who use access control actually uses a mobile credential. People just are really stuck on using their key cards. It's what they're familiar with. And I think that's because there's a ton of failure in the execution of the mobile technology that's been brought to bear so far in this category. And so what we did is we kind of broke it down. We did a ton of user studies. We looked at the mobile that was out there, and we saw that it fails on about 9 different levels, from username and password management to credential mobility, moving the mobile credential from one app to on the phone to another phone. The basically reliability and the speed, it was slow and unreliable. It only worked a few times, and people just revert back to using their card. So we set about building out an access control system that was user-centric from the start and worked all the time. We started with the user experience and said, speed and reliability have to be paramount. So we built not only a beautiful and elegant looking mobile app, but something that we knew would work all the time. And just to think about it, when you have your mobile phone and you're making a phone call, you kind of expect more often than not it's going to drop the call. When you connect to the speakerphone of your sort of car, or you're trying to connect to your earbuds or some sort of system, you kind of expect Bluetooth is going to fail with frequency. But when it comes to life safety, when it comes to access, you can't have failures. And so we looked at this problem and sort of said, how do we triangulate a solution that really works all the time? And so we developed this technology that we call our triple unlock technology. What we do is every time you use the mobile phone to unlock a door, we connect to the access system and send the unlock command from the phone using 3 different methods. We send one unlock command over Bluetooth low energy from the phone to the reader. We send another unlock command simultaneously over Wi-Fi across the local area network to the panel that is installed in the control room. And then we also send a request to unlock from the phone through the cellular network, through the cloud, back to the panel. And so sending 3 different unlock commands every single time and pitting those against each other to see which is the first that will actually reach the access system. And that first one unlocks the door and the other 2 signals are discarded. This technology actually proved to be tremendous in that it allows us to have 99.9% reliability because we're not depending on just one, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or the internet. And we're also able to make sure that it's a really fast response time. And you'd be surprised, the telemetry is really interesting. We've seen that oftentimes it's not Bluetooth, which you'd think would be the fastest, it's Wi-Fi. And oftentimes it's LTE or cellular. So let me show you how this works. It's about sub-second response time. So in the video I'm going to show you, you're going to see the mobile phone that's got the credential on it. You're going to see the reader that we make. It's our hardware that you mount on the wall. And the unseen is our panel that is sitting in the IT closet and the cloud software that we build, which is hosted in the cloud. So this is how it looks. Sub-second response times, you press the button and boom, it just unlocks the door. And you'll see this again here when he walks up to the door, sub-second response time, it just works. And our whole thought there was, we don't want to interrupt your experience. We want you to be able to walk right up to the door, not lose a step, and unlock the door. So we were super excited. We rolled this out when we were in our own beta here at our offices. And for about a week, we loved the novelty of using our phone to unlock the door. It was cool. And then we stopped using the phone. And we went right back to using keycards. And I think the challenge that we experienced firsthand was it takes about, 3 thought cycles to use a keycard. You take the badge out of your pocket, you swipe it, and then you put it back in your pocket, right? It's pretty easy. But it took about 7 thought cycles to use your phone. You actually have to stop talking on the phone or dig around in your pocket or in your purse to find the phone. You have to unlock the phone. You have to close the app that was already open, maybe it's email or whatever, and then you have to find the Openpath app. You have to open the Openpath app. You have to find the door that you want to unlock. You have to press the unlock button. And that's just a whole lot of work, and it was just much easier to use our card to swipe the badge reader. And so we set about solving this problem, and that's when we developed our touch technology. And touch was really a game changer. This is the ability for you to keep the phone in your pocket. You keep talking on the phone in your hand, or keep the phone in your purse or your backpack, and just walk up to the door, wave your hand at the door, or touch the reader, and the door unlocks. So we have a capacitive touch sensor that we installed in our reader that allows this magic capability to happen. Let me show you how it works. And forgive the corny music that is going to run here, but the phone's in her purse. She just goes up and she just touches the reader. It unlocks the door, walks right in. Phone's in his pocket. She goes up to the door, touches the reader, walks in. She got the phone right there, and boom, unlocks the door. Phone's in her pocket. So we were super excited. When we figured out touch, we're like, oh my God, this is the best. We were the smartest kids in the room, yay for us. It turns out, though, that there's one more problem that we had to solve. And the problem that we had to solve here was the fact that in order for touch to work, the app actually had to be open on the phone. And I don't know about you guys, but I often shut all of my apps down at night just to conserve battery and just to clear out my screen. And or if you do like an iOS update or an Android update, it sort of reboots your phone and your app shut down. So we were finding that 1 out of 5 times the app failed to unlock the door, and that's not acceptable. So we set about trying to find a way to sort of solve this problem, and we actually patented a technology that is our iBeacon technology, and here's how it works. Exactly how it works. Here I have my iPhone. I've got a whole bunch of apps, including our Openpath app, open on the phone. And I want to show you what happens when I shut it down. I'm going to actually shut down the Openpath app. I'm going to shut down a whole bunch of the other apps I have on the phone. And what's happened now is I've got nothing open, right? I'll even show you here. I'll try to open. There's nothing open on my phone. I'm going to shut down right here at the phone. I'm going to put it in my pocket, and I'm going to show you how touch works. You just walk up to the door, touch with your hand, and it unlocks. We can go in. That easy. So we were super excited. So not only did we have a patent on this triple unlock technology that uses the 3 different signals to unlock the door, but we had this patent now on our iBeacon technology, and we feel like, okay, great, we really sort of built a moat around the intellectual property on how to unlock in a really reliable and seamless, friction-free way each door, and we rolled this out. So every time we sell one of our systems, we ship it out with key cards because we want to give our customers the choice. You choose the access method that you want, whether it's a key card or a fob, or whether it's the mobile phone. And we want to be kind of indifferent, and support you whichever way. Here's what we saw in our telemetry. We had 94% mobile adoption. And this is kind of unheard of. I mean, we really cracked the code here on mobile, given that, the market average is 2 to 3% mobile adoption, and Openpath is 94%.